Today I'm going to do an in-depth review of my miter saw table. There's been a lot of people commenting on that, wanting to see how I build it, and so I'm going to go into a little bit more in-depth on what you need and how I built mine. Alright, so for the first thing you're going to have to figure out is how you have your machine mounted to your trailer. In my case, I used 4x6s and stood them upright, and so that gives me enough room underneath for my mounting system. And I don't know if you can see right there, I went through the 4x6 with 2 bolts, and this is a separate, basically it's a U design, and I went back in there, let's see, about 20 inches long, and they stick out past the front of the machine right there, about 3 inches. And then I welded this stop across the bottom of my main frame out here, and so when it folds down, that stop stops it. Alright, and this is all 1 by 2 inch square steel tubing. I had to play around this here, drop a little bit. Basically I went about straight across from this one to the top of that one, so you really wouldn't have to do what I did here. You could run this one back on pass and weld it there, but yeah, I just like the idea of that there. Looks a little better. My welds don't look that great, but, and then move back here. The overall length from the front, and this can vary depending on how long you want it, but I'm at about 51.5. And the width, this of course is going to be the 4x6. I have mine 4x6 mounted about flush with my machine, and then my mounting bracket is right on the inside of that, and then this mounts to the outside. So your width is going to be about almost 19 inches outside to outside. And for the first coming out, it's going to be about 24 inches, 23 inches, and where it drops and goes down and then on out. Probably the main thing that you have to make sure you do is this plate here that the saw mounts on. I think I'm at 3/16 steel plate, and I don't think I would go any less than that, because it'll have too much flex, which right now it's pretty solid. I had tried with a lot thinner one and that didn't work. So got my cross members going here. We'll see that on the bottom side when I flip it back up where I mounted my swivel. I have a stop block here with a locking pin. I have 4 bolts that bolt my saw down There's one there, and each corner. And those are adjustable. Once you get the height set, you don't have to worry about the height. To move from 5 to 6 inch, there's a slot here on each bolt. You loosen this nut and then it's loose. You can slide it forward, backward to your 5 and 6 inch slots. This is what the bottom side looks like. There's the slots for the 5 and 6 inch slots. And this here, I used I think it's a 7 or 8 inch boat seat swivel, which I do have a bigger one, but this one seems to be working fine. I tried different swivels and I ended up finding boat seat swivel works really well. It's a lot more heavy duty than some of the other swivels I was trying out. The reason for that swivel is I have a locking pin here. See if I can do this with one hand. And then that allows my saw to rotate to cut downspouts. Because what I was running into, if I wanted to cut a 10-foot downspout in half or something, for an extension or whatever, I didn't have enough room between my machine and my saw. And so now when it comes time to cutting downspouts, I can rotate it and cut my downspouts, elbows, whatever. It works really well to cut elbows. I put some tape measure sticker on either side of the saw so I can cut elbows, short pieces, without having to pull my tape measure out. Something to save a little bit of time. In order to be able to cut 6-inch gutter at 45s, you have to have at least a 12-inch double compound miter saw, which means the miter saw can be leaned one way or the other. I think it's, well, I think you can go 45 degrees, but it has to be a double bevel. It can't be a single bevel or it won't work. And then also I had to take, in order to cut 6-inch, I had to take a grinder and cut this shield off just a little bit, about a 1/2 inch up, so the front of the gutter didn't hit that when I cut it. Other than that, I did put some stick-on real heavy-duty felt pads to there. That way the bottom of the gutter is not sliding on there, scratching it up. But as the gutter comes out, it just touches the top of those. And that's how you know you have it set correctly. Alright, that's the miter saw stand. Feel free to post any questions or comments you have on it. I kind of just come up with this design on my own. There's definitely some improvements that could be made to it, but it works fairly well for what I have in it.